If you're tired of not making progress and you're ready to be the artist you know you're meant to be, you're in the right place. You're listening to the Singer's Path podcast. The Path, or Performing Artists Training Hub, will cover everything, including singing tips that actually work, advice from top industry professionals, and life-changing mindset shifts. Out with the starving artist and in with the thriving artist. I'm your host, Sarah Bishop, professional singer, actor, educator, and entrepreneur. I'm not afraid to speak the truth and stop the gatekeeping of quality information so you can actually become the artist you dream of being. So let's get on the path, shall we? Even though we're all on our own journeys, it always helps to have a guide.
Hello. Welcome back to the Singer's Path podcast. It's me, your host, Sarah Bishop. And we are finally wrapping up the 3 parts of this very special 3-part series over pulling back the curtain, really showing you the importance of doing the internal work, learning how to quiet your crazy mind, how to regulate your system, how to feel safe to take aligned action that's for you, and to really step in and embody and finally have these dreams come to fruition that you've been just begging for your whole life, but have them finally come through and have them finally happen in the way that's perfect for you. But really what we're exploring here is the importance of getting your mind and your system on board, and how if it has not been working out, it's probably some kind of system error going on, either in your subconscious reprogramming, in the way that you're taking action, in the way that you're, continuing to live out of alignment for the things that you want, or it's your nervous system sabotaging you, right? There's lots of elements and pieces to this. And I'm just so thrilled and excited to share these with you. In the past 2 episodes, I shared how I manifested and brought into fruition my husband after starting to begin this neural programming on myself. I'm just one big fucking example of how this fucking works. I explain how it then led to me having my whole goddamn business, because I can do the fuck not, because of an intuitive hit around starting a podcast and starting to look at my relationship to money. And I also revealed how I manifested a dream job in a pre-Broadway show, and being part of an original cast in that creative process, and how that came from me really starting to look at the relationship of building a stronger relationship with my body image. And y'all, this is fucking science. Okay, I kind of mentioned that briefly in the first episode, but if you're like, I'm not really into that like witchy woo woo manifestation shit, like, okay, yeah, you're telling me this thing happened, because no, it's literally your fucking brain, and it's literally science. And we're talking about this mostly because right now Amanda's going to queue up another ad for it at some point in the episode. So, we really want you to know about it, okay? But there's a brand new special, very special holiday founders sale going on for a brand new Inner Circle membership, the Singer's Path Inner Circle membership. So that's why we're talking about this, because the membership includes, it's all about getting artists on board so they connect with their systems, right? Doing that neural rewiring, getting on board with their wild, crazy minds and the nervous system so they can actually embody the things that they want. And it's also an artist community, so you guys get to hold each other accountable and connect. So anyway, you're going to hear more about that here in a second. I don't want to get too much into that. That is happening. That Founders Members sale is happening. And that's why we're kind of going through this, so I can show you why the fuck this inner work is so fucking important, and why it was completely not. I need to tell you. I need to tell you how this works, because if you're not fucking doing this, this is what you're missing. Okay, this is the missing piece. So we left off with me booking the Griswold's Broadway vacation because I was starting to embody and integrate this work. Now comes in, God, there's just been so many, I can't even, like when I'm sitting down thinking about this, like I can't not even believe how many things I've manifested after starting to do this. It's fucking crazy. So the very next thing that I manifested that was crazy and so scary at the time, let me tell you, it took me a year of sitting on this to actually like finally fucking pop it out. But it was my intuition of, I'm like really good at teaching people pitch for some reason. I need to make a course. At this point in time, I'd been teaching for a couple years and was getting really, really tired from teaching so much, because that was like the one thing about teaching so consistently with Emily's studio was that it was starting to wear me out. And I was like, I don't know how much longer I can just do hour to hour to hour lessons. You know, my body was starting to show me signs that something might need to be adjusted or changed at a certain time. And I was like, well, I feel like nobody really teaches anyone to sing on pitch. Like, from what I've heard, like even me going into teaching, I was always like, well, if you're tone deaf, you either have it or you don't. And I was like, I don't know that it's possible. But then when I had students in front of me and I had to figure it out, and I pulled from my own life experience, and I was like, oh, actually, I was told I was tone deaf, and this is actually what we did. And then it fixed things. And then now I'm a professional singer. So if that's true, and this person paid me money and is sitting in front of me, I should probably do something to help them. And that was the foundation of Pitch Please, which then later got rebranded to Pitch and Musician. I literally was, guys, when I tell you I was so fucking scared to do this, because we're entering like Sarah stepping into her own business era, not just working for someone else's business. When you step into the embodied version of you that you are meant to be, and you're taking each step at a time, it is fucking scary. This is where the nervous system aspect needs to come into play, and why you need to continue doing that in the inner work and holding yourself in your system. I got spucked. Is that a word? Spucked? Spooked, I was spucked. No, that's not real. And that's fine. And we're going to keep going. The way I was spooked over and over again, it's like, okay, so as we start talking about money and business and visibility, your relationship with money and your relationship with visibility and fame, it just amplifies how you already feel about your fucking self, okay? When you have money, good people who have money use it for good things. Shitty people who have money, it just amplifies their shittiness. It's the same with fame, right? Good people who are famous and visible, it amplifies who they already are. So if they're a good person, great, it's going to amplify that and they're going to help a lot of people. Or if they're a shitty person, it's going to amplify that and they're going to be a shitty person. But when you have a business and you are forced to start to step out in both that visibility and having self-worth and advocating for yourself and having to put your fucking money down, lots of money down right off the bat with no fucking guarantees, let me fucking tell you, that was scary as fuck. And if I did not continue doing this work, that's what I mean. It's like you're manifesting these things and then you could so easily flop and sabotage it. And I'm going to tell you how I even went through that and had to catch myself and kind of move through it and get my brain and my system back on board. Okay. Like for fucking real. I'm so for real. So Pitch and Musician, let me tell you, it took me about a fucking year to make because I was delaying with procrastination and perfectionism. I wanted to make sure, again, I'm about creating quality stuff. Like I'm not going to take your fucking money and have it be a piece of shit. Okay. No, that's a waste of everybody's time. And I'm not about being a fraud. Okay. I'm not about being a crook. If I'm going to make something and I'm put time into it and it's going to be money, it better be good. And sure, there's integrity in that. And that's absolutely accurate. You won't catch me making a fucking program on AI. Okay. However, there is a certain point where it's like, are you just dragging your feet and you're not like pulling the trigger because you're afraid of being seen, right? Or you're afraid of this being put out. The year that it took to make my first self-paced course, it was such a roller coaster of emotions. They were spent so much time. I think I kind of went into it there was a little bit of not trusting the system that I had, even though it worked and I'd use it on like so many students. I was like, there was some part of me that was like, oh, this can't possibly be right if this is all intuition. So I'd spent quite a great deal of time doing all this, again, neuroscience research on the brain and how the pitch affects the brain and why is what I'm doing working, and kind of basically just justifying what I already did. And what was really fascinating was like whatever I was doing intuitively was based in science. Like I figured out later, I was just doing it. And then I figured out later why it worked. And I actually lectured on it at a World Teacher Conference in Scotland in 2024. And there was someone that specialized in it, like at fucking Oxford or something, that sat in on my lecture and was like, I talked to them and they're like, yeah, no, that's basically it. That's right. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, again, when you have like fired up intuition and you're practicing that and you're locked into that, like you have no idea like the kind of information that you're receiving. And when you learn to trust that and use that, like obviously it was good that I was researching it so that, again, if I'm selling something that it's going to work, right, that I know it's going to work. But like it's wild when you lean into trusting yourself just how much intuition will take you. And that's actually a large part of becoming an excellent teacher, by the way, is yeah, you got to learn the tools that are available to you to help people. And the intuition is a large piece of this, is learning how to help the student based off of the energy and what they're giving you in that moment. Anyway, I'm talking so very much. I'm actually, I'm recording parts 1, 2, and 3, like back to back right now. So I'm like, whoa, I probably need some water. Anyway, so I manifested my first course. And then at the end of this course building, I had been with EKM Studio for a few years at that point. I think it was almost 3 years that I had been teaching there. And I remember, and it was sad. It was a hard decision. I remember being really scared because I had been, relying on the marketing and the connections that Emily was busting her ass to do, which I remember at the time not quite understanding how difficult it was to have a platform. I just didn't quite understand it because I didn't have one yet. Let me tell you, being a content creator, like, is so fucking hard. It is hard. It's hard because no one else is going to show up for you. You are everything. You make the videos, you edit the videos, you do it all. And when you say like content creators don't deserve to have money or they get it, you need to look at your own relationship with money because you have, like, respectfully, you have no fucking idea. And also the job that it is just to be perceived by that many people and like have the system to be able to hold that is immense. So that's another piece of it where, yeah, actually content creators do deserve the money that they make. Especially someone like Emily, who's also a good person, is an educator. And so anyway, I had been benefiting from her business and her visibility and had been practicing. And at a certain point, though, especially when I was creating my own courses, I knew that I was like kind of hitting a level where like if I wanted more income, I had capped, right? Like I could not make more money past how many hours are in the day. And I was already burning myself out and completely just like having a really hard time, right? Getting through health-wise. And I had just put together this product. It's ready for launch. And I just knew it was just time. I was like, I know that it's time for me to step out on my own. And I had taken the time already to create my own LLC. I had built my own website. So I was ready and I was sad. I remember talking to Emily and said, I'm going to step away and it's time. And, it was amiable. Like everybody, I think I had been telling her for a while that I, was moving in that direction. And I gave her some notice and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm going to step away. I think it's time with my own products and so it was good. And I wish her well and we're still friends and all of that. I text her sometimes. But yeah, that was a big cliff jump for me. And I would not have been able to do that if I did. Let me tell you, I was scared as fuck. I was like, what if I didn't have a big following? I had like fucking 4,000 or 5,000 followers. Like I did not have, I don't even know. It might not have been that much. It might have been 3,000 followers. It was not a lot. I had just gotten a TikTok and I was like, I do not know how to do this for myself. I actually don't know anything about selling. I don't know about marketing. I don't know how to make content that converts. And I jumped anyway because I knew that I had to learn. I couldn't depend on someone else anymore. I knew it was time that I buckled the fuck up and I stepped in. And that was a huge step. But in that first year, you know what I manifested? The rest of my fucking business. I then, because I was stepping into this risk taking, I finally was manifesting the right mentors, the people that knew how to get to teach me where I wanted to go. I manifested teaching at that at the conference in Scotland. I actually skipped something. We'll get back to there in a second. We're just talking about business. But basically, I manifested the ideas for pillars and advanced mix. And I made them in a year. Those two, I had a whole storefront all of a sudden within a year. I had pitch and musician, pillars, and advanced mix. All because I took the leap on myself and I had to make it work. And then I had the neural rewiring and nervous system regulation to get myself through it. And that forced me to do that fame and visibility piece, to get used to posting on content, to force myself to figure it out. That forced me to work out my money story. And having that system in place was really, I had someone tell me the other day, oh my God, having a business, like you make so many choices. There's so many decisions you have to do all the time. You have to get it. How do you do that? How do you do that? I have a system in place that helps me navigate this. It's hard. It's gotten way easier, but it's not like a walk in the park. I will tell you though, when I started living in alignment, because I was doing this work on myself and internally and listening to the intuition, it is so much easier though compared to living out of alignment and living in struggle and in lack and living in a place of knowing that I could do more and living in a place that I knew I was not living up to my potential and I wasn't helping who I was supposed to be helping. That is so much worse. So much worse. So if you find yourself in that spot and you are just like at rock bottom, or you just don't know what you're doing and you've lost touch with your creativity, again, you really got to check out this offer that's coming up here. That's here. The now is the time. This is the opportunity to do that. If you're a creative or a performer who feels stuck, burned out, or blocked, it's not your talent. It's your subconscious wiring and your nervous system. That's why I built the Singer's Path Inner Circle membership. This membership not only gives you access to exclusive content, live masterclasses, and support, but it also gives you exclusive access to the revolutionary Spotlight system, which is a neural rewiring program created with a therapist, rooted in neuroscience and designed to help you finally feel safe succeeding and rewiring your brain to take action so you actually get the success that you've been desiring. In this program, that again is entirely exclusive to the Singer's Path Inner Circle. You do not have access to this unless you're part of the membership. You will heal that starving artist money story. You will look and heal your relationship with stage fright and your fear of being seen. And then finally, create from confidence, not chaos. And here's the thing, right now there is a founding member sale for this membership, which means that you can join and have this membership priced forever at less than $2 a day. Seriously, that's less than a subway ride. And it stays that low forever if you jump on this during this founding member launch sale. Prices will go up to $97 a month after January 7th. After the sale is over, it will be increasing forever. So join now and start 2026 as the artist who finally feels safe to shine. Go to the link in the show notes or find it at sarahbishopvocalstudio.com. And now we'll get back to our episode. So, anyway, I manifested an entire storefront, and oh my God, we'll have to put a pin in the career stuff. I honestly can't even believe how many things I manifested. This is like the first time I've sat down and thought about all these things. Let's get back to, because this third part is more about nervous system regulation and how that starts to come into place, and how other manifestation things that I've used before, such as To Be Magnetic, I used a lot earlier in my 20s, which is a really good program. It's a little bit broad. I don't think it's a very trauma-informed because of how broad it is. And I think some things are, again, borrowed from other specialists who do this. But at the time, that's what I needed, and I used it, and it helped me quite a lot. But what's missing as well is this nervous system piece, this regulation piece that needs to happen. There's multiple things happening. Your system needs to be on board, your nervous system, so that it doesn't send you into fight or flight, and it doesn't perceive things as being a danger when they're different. And I feel like there is some bit of regulation in that other program, but like it wasn't like an integral step necessarily. It was just like, just do the track and it'll be fine. And it's like, I don't know. I just feel like, anyway, I have opinions. We're going to move on. So the biggest element where nervous system kicked my ass was that I had kind of during the time that I was releasing this first product with Pitch a Musician, I was starting to get the itch of I had manifested actually one of the best acting coaches I've ever come across who'd helped me kind of get in touch with acting and like get good at acting. I had invested in myself in that finally. So I felt confident in order to help students and myself and actually become the artist that I wanted to. So like once my business started making money, I like poured it into investing in myself. And when this next chapter came, I was like, I really want to play like a dream role. I really want to play something that's perfect for me. I would practice. At that point, I remembered how you actually fucking manifest things, which is actually embodiment, understanding if there's blocks or subconscious blocks. You can try to wish and hope and pray for something until you're blue in the face. But if you have blocks that are pushing it in a way that don't feel like it's safe, it's not going to fucking come in. Okay. And again, the inner circle membership helps you with that. It teaches you how to do that for yourself. But let me tell you, I was rehearsing this and I actually was rehearsing engagement because Kyle and I are kind of talking about it. And so I practiced, embodying that and getting excited for the engagement to happen and didn't know when it was going to happen. But I thought that would just be so wonderful. And I was so excited. And I was practicing, manifesting any role that was perfect for me. I didn't know what it was going to be. This rolls around again. This is just another manifestation. This is just more proof that this shit fucking works. I had to uncover some self-worth pieces around that over like I was a good actor and that I had done the work, and I started to train my brain to really actually truly believe in myself by literally brainwashing me in the direction of finally fucking believing in myself and harnessing the skills that I had earned. And I kid you, out of the blue, I kid you not, I got an audition for a really large regional house. It's a very prestigious regional house. It's in Pittsburgh, called Pittsburgh CLO. And I finally got an appointment for Susan, but it was from my New York agent, which was weird because usually they hire locally, and I had not gone to the local audition. And this audition kind of found me, and they were like, hey, they're looking to hire Susan for Tick, Tick, Boom. We really think you should do it. And I was like, okay, I'll audition. So I auditioned. I didn't hear anything back. And I was really upset because I thought I did a really good job, like a really good job. And I was really proud of it. But you know what? I practiced letting it go. I had, again, within this system that, is in the inner circle membership, I did my best. I let it go and I separated myself from it. And I kid you the fuck not, like a couple weeks later, I got a call straight with an offer. What's for you will not pass you. This was for me. And it was honestly like the best theatrical experience I'd ever had in my life. And I then manifested, it was so beautiful. I manifested engagement. Kyle proposed to me our closing weekend of Tick, Tick, Boom. It completely surprised me in the best way. But this is the piece where I'm talking about. My system had never been in that much joy before. So much so that my eyes went bloodshot and I literally left my fucking body. I looked like I had hit a joint. So much so that the PA was like, are you high? And I was like, no. I was just so happy. But that's what I mean. Like when I talk about your system will only attract and be able to hold the manifestations that it can hold. If it's not prepped, primed, and rehearsed or capable of holding great things, it will shut down. And that was kind of an example of like, I had literally never experienced that cocktail of dopamine in my brain before. And it sent my system haywire. In a positive way, it was good, but like I blacked out. And I think you hear a lot when we're talking about marriage and engagement, you hear that a lot with brides. Like they just black out and leave their body and they don't remember anything. It went by so fast, they didn't remember anything. And I remember since I kind of experienced that during the engagement, I was like, you know what I want to do for myself? I want to practice, again, doing what the system is, embodying, rehearsing, getting my system on board to be able to hold that amount of joy again so that I can be present and actually fucking enjoy my wedding day and remember it. And that's exactly what I did for about 6 months or so. I rehearsed somatically, integrating my nervous system and the joy and learning to hold that container. I also at the same time learned to hold the container of visibility. And as I started to grow more and more followers and started to go viral and pop off, I learned how to hold myself through a visibility hangover, how my system got spooked from being witnessed by people. I learned to deal with trolls. I learned to have boundaries and not look at content and not look at comments. And I popped out those 2 products and I wrote an album. So it was crazy. 2024 was wild. And then I got married, and guess what? I did remember, like, I remember like every single moment from my wedding. Not every single moment, but like I vividly remember being very present. It was probably one of the most present and joyful days of my entire life. It was the most present and joyful day. And I believe it's because I practiced and I embodied what the system does. Now, I'll tell you this. We'll leave you here on this, okay? I forgot to say this. I then manifested a dream apartment. Guys, it just keeps going. Like, when I say I'm a fucking evidence bank, I'm an evidence bank. I then manifested my dream apartment in New York City. It's a 4-bedroom rent stabilized apartment in Astoria that is well within our budget. And we are holding on to this shit, let me tell you. You know why? Because again, I surrendered and I did the system. I looked at, I basically surrendered. I was like, God, universe, show me. I had been, this whole year too, has been about surrendering to, okay, it kind of seems like this is not going to be the timeline that I expected it to be. I'm not going to book Broadway and have my dream career before I have kids. So God, show me that I can have both. Show me that it is possible. Show me. When I integrated and unpacked that and let go of needing to control narrative, let go of, being afraid of how it's going to turn out, I swear to God, we're on our fucking honeymoon. Guys, I can't make this shit up. I can't even believe this. We're on our honeymoon. I was like, we should probably look for an apartment. We had just gotten up to watch the sunrise because homeboy husband wanted to see the sunrise that day. I was so fucking tired. He wanted to do a jog on the beach. Anyway, we were up early. But thank God we were. Because I get onto Zillow or whatever, Street Easy or whatever. It's like our last day of our honeymoon or second to last day of our honeymoon. I see this apartment pop up, rent stabilized, 4-bedroom, in fucking sane, amazing neighborhood. I'm like, holy shit. It had just posted when I logged on. And I was like, Kyle, I think this is a unicorn apartment. Holy shit, this is a unicorn apartment. Like, we got to apply. We got to apply now. And he was like, we applied on our honeymoon. We weren't even there. Everything worked out. Kyle contacted HR at his job. They got a letter. Everything came together really easily. We were approved. The day after my honeymoon, I came to New York. I checked the apartment. We signed the lease. We had this apartment. It's crazy. The things that you can do when you harness your brain to help you and you surrender to universe fucking helping you. I swear to God, it's wild. Anyone that comes over to this place is like, holy shit, this place is amazing. I'm literally, as I'm recording this, I'm looking at the Empire State Building and the view of the skyline in the Chrysler Building that we have outside of the office. It's fucking wild. Okay. So if that is an indication enough that maybe it's time, if you have any desires of your own, to learn how to harness your brain and your system to help you, or if you like looking at it in a spiritual realm, have universe fucking help you and stop fucking sabotaging things. Make your dreams come true. But this is, everyone's like, just hustle, push. No one tells you that this is what it actually takes. The hard work of it all is looking under the hood. The hard work of it all is learning to hold yourself through anything and everything. And the hard work of it all that and I'm going to be honest about where I'm at with it now, is then when you're accepting that certain things haven't budged, or certain things you're so, like, I'm really good at manifesting things clearly, especially when I do the inner work. But then when you have a lot of things that create safety, then really truly sitting with yourself and fully fucking surrendering. For me, that's completely letting go of pursuing the acting and singing thing as being somewhat on my timeline or having control over that at all. I literally don't. And the indication is that I need to pour into my business and to my clients. There's something about that that's going to lead me places. I don't know. We'll see what this leads to. But the whole next step after we got the apartment and I spent the year here this year has been on the grief. And that's and being with myself and holding myself through really, truly accepting who I am, what I'm capable of doing, and what I can just no longer tolerate and be a part of. And what my real job is here, and the grief of attachment to a dream that has shifted and changed. So yeah, guys, that's the power of doing inner work, yo. even if just the simplicity of it all is to fucking enjoy your dreams and have things come to fruition, or if it's as nuanced as you want to feel home, like at home and safe within yourself. You want to actually feel genuinely confident, like you can actually take action on your things. Well, you need to get your brain and body on board, babe. If you want these things that you say that you want, this is the step. So this is your indication. Again, there is a very special holiday sale, a very special founders pricing happening right now for the Singer's Path Inner Circle. Again, there would have been an ad running at some point explaining the details. You can get started for less than $2 a day. Please take it from me, from someone who has worked out of lack mindset, who has really gotten to a point of a rock bottom before I decided to help myself. Please do not cheap out on yourself. It's $2 a day, guys. Okay? A subway ride costs more than that. All right? If this is something that you want, if you finally want to become the person that you have been dreaming of becoming, this is the work that's missing, especially in your art. What is there anything more important than connecting with the love of your life that is your art, that is your voice, that is your body, that is your creativity, your writing, the things that you birth into this world? Do you not fucking owe it to yourself to buckle the fuck up and take yourself seriously and truly learn to care for yourself through this fucking wild concrete jungle that's cruel to artists, that is through this capitalistic system that is not built to support artists. You have to support yourself. You have to figure out how to navigate the system and remain soft on the inside, but strong externally and standing in your conviction of what you're capable of creating. This is your invitation. This founding members pricing will not happen again after January 7th. It's done. It's done. This membership with the spotlight system, with the 2 live calls a month, with this complete community support is worth hundreds of dollars a month. Let me be clear. The spotlight system is not at all, let's say it is quite thorough. It covers like all of the things that fucking artists struggle with. Like I'm talking money story, I'm talking fame visibility, I'm talking safety, stage fright, taking risk, boundaries, upholding boundaries, letting go and grief and sitting with change, not being attached to outcomes, healing your artist child, healing the shame and shadow around your artistry, building self-worth around body image, voice, creative play, your soul mission. Like guys. So if this rings a bell, please, for the love of fucking God, if you're like, well, I've never done hypnosis or brain neuroplasticity or done anything, that's okay. There is a month-to-month membership if you just want to dip your toes. But just know that annual membership, that's literally, I think you get 3 months free every year for the rest of your fucking life. You know, you'll be locked into the month-to-month, and that's okay. But like that $57 a month, that is that annual membership, girl, it's worth triple that. So I just want you to consider that. Less than $2. Don't cheap out on yourself, please. It makes me sad when people do that. You know why? Because I did that to myself for so long, and we're just not about that anymore. We're living in an abundant place. We're living in a place where you love and value yourself, and it's time for you to get out of your own way. Okay. I know I'm like so aggressive when I talk about this stuff, and it comes from passion. And again, it's because I literally love you, and I literally made this because I love you. So help yourself. And again, that expires on January 7th, and it won't be like that again. That rate will be locked in forever. So don't cheap out. Dedicate the love to yourself that I know you have and that you've been dreaming of. And that is the end of the manifesting saga. We'll have to see. Jesus, it's just so much. There's more to come. There's more to come. I feel like I'm in a fresh chapter. We'll have to see, maybe in a year or maybe in a few months. We'll see what happens. But if I have other things come through by doing the system and embodying it, let me tell you, if you join the membership, I'm going to be in there right alongside you doing the same work. So we'll see together what we come to fruition, what we bring about in our life, and how we start to enjoy and embody the dreams that we've been calling in all together. All right. So maybe I'll do an episode and I'll share more of whatever happens. With that, I am so proud of you just in general, because even just listening to these episodes, and if it brought any ideas and, inspiration, I hope so, because you're so capable of doing this too. Just use me as evidence that it's possible for you, because it is. I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And with that, I will see you later. If you like this, if this podcast brings you joy, make sure to leave a 5-star review and send a screenshot on Apple Podcasts of that review to us, so you can be entered to win a free lesson. All right. With that, thank you so much for listening to me. I know these are pretty long-winded, or at least I feel that way because I've been doing them nonstop here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts. This helps me get this information out to more artists all over the world. Let's work together to spread the joys of music. Until next time, I'm your host, Sarah Bishop, signing off from the Singer's Path podcast. Thanks for listening.